If you guys are new to the channel because you're seeing this video and the title is probably going to be something along Bikeberry's new 100cc V2. The title is misleading. Some pluses, some minuses, some meh. I'll tell you as I do everything as I install it. This motor is given to me 100% free of charge to do a review on. Real quick, so they wanted me to do a quick little open. I already had it open just the first day I got it in the mail. I just wanted to take a look-see. But it's gonna have to be assembled a little bit, I know that. Now I am not going to be doing anything special to this yet. For now, I have to put it on completely stock. I have to know exactly what I'm getting into and how it operates stock, how everything moves in a stock form and all that jazz. So you can see what we got here. We got the case. We got, what is this? A carburetor and, oh, it's got a little rubber around it. That's nice. Oh, neat. Nice. The bracketry, all that jazz. There's a chain in here, fuel filter in here, the gaskets that we will need. Some of this stuff I'm not going to need because I'm going to be putting it on Jokester. And as you all know, Jokester is a fully built bike, which is giving me major issues, which is causing me to do this right now. Not the motor. So I just figure since I want to do Uber Eats, this is the perfect time to put this on the bike and see exactly what it's all about. I'll get you in here closer so you can see. Can you see how jagged it is? Now this is probably black iron, you know, it's just cast. But, you know, the crawl chest looks good. In there, can you see that? Look at that, the taper on the port. You never see that. The alignment of the sleeve to the port, perfect, flawless. Thin little tiny transfer ports. There, you can see it. See that lip? Can you see there? And look, all that. So I don't know what the numbers are, but I guarantee if I was to take this gone, it'll help it out, especially since this thing's already a reed. Same thing on this side. Also, something I'm noticing, they are tapered. See how low it is here and then high here? So this gives it kind of like an A and a B. For the transfers, this would be your primary and secondary. It's got a piece of metal sitting there. There we go. That's a big piece of metal. That was just something sitting there. That would be really easy to go through the motor. But chewed it up real nice. As a whole, how even it is, sleeve, beautiful. Most iron sleeves, they don't have any taper to the ports. This is actually matched up very well. The port is very small. Now I'm not going to be porting this. This is going to be a completely stock motor, and that kills me. It won't be stock for long, but it will be stock to start with. You will need the exhaust. Man, that is a beefy flange. Now this is a very bespoke exhaust, and they are going to be sending me some aftermarket higher performance ones to go on there, so that's going to be cool. The head, definitely going to need that. Throttle cable and clutch cable. I'll need the clutch cable because that's the problem with Jokester right now. It does have a chain guard, chain stay. It has a sprocket, which this looks like a 44 sprocket, and a clutch lever, and the old school button kind. Really like that. That is the best clutch lever by far. And what's this missing? It's a gas tank. One thing I don't need is another gas tank, but I do always enjoy them. Wow, they really protected the threads. Grips, nice. On off, CDI, full silicone hose, gas cap. I don't need that, you guys know I run a 1.75 gallon jug as my gas can. So, here you have it, guys. That is the open. They wanted me to do an opening for the box. There's certain things I have to do according to the contract that I signed. They want a box opening. They want assemble on the bike, you know, install and then test ride, first test ride and all that. So, no problem. I got you. I gotta do I gotta do certain things according to parameters of what they gave me to do. So that's what we're gonna do. So really quickly, let me get this together and turn the AC back on before I build. Oh, look at this. Bolts as opposed to studs. This is a beautiful head. It's a huge dome, but look at the size of that dome. Yeah, so this does not have a squish band. This has a squish pinch point, which I am not happy with, but that also causes a huge combustion chamber. But not now, after I go to do my obligational videos. Now I think they're sending me a head, high performance head, so that'd be good. See the difference between the two. But this is a nice chunk of aluminum, and this will cool it down really nice. Not to mention, it's just pretty. Matches it well. Now I am not going to install this with any Moto Seal I'm going to install it just with the caskets, just as it is. I want this to be just like one of you at home get this excited like I am, and you throw it onto the bike, and that's it. Oh, that's kind of cool. So no matter where you are, you could literally, as long as this is out of the way, you could literally spin this any way you want and hold it in place. That is kind of unnecessary but cool. I can't wait to see what they got for the performance parts. It's eating me up. Like, there's so much room. These ports, I didn't get any measurements. I'm not going to do measurements now anyway. I was thinking about it, but I'm not. I'm not going to do measurements because it doesn't really matter what they are. They're going to be the same later when I do get my little fingers all up inside of this. And I decided to turn it up boost. Not really boost, just turn it up to 11. But until then, I have to make sure I do this just like one of you were to get this at home. The exhaust comes out on the right side of the motor as opposed to the left side. That's really weird. I mean, I guess it's not weird, it's just different. No, the motor does that. Always. Ultra slick. Always, 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 always. No matter what I'm testing for somebody else, I'm going to test it like they want, but I'm going to put it together the way I want. I always use assembly lube when assembling a motor. I don't want any dry starts. 12mm wrist pin like that. If you can look at it, I hope you can see how it's bent that way? That goes to the outside of the piston. This is for the inside. I am about reliability. So I'm going to build this stock, mostly and completely stock. There's a couple things I do for longevity. When I talked to Thomas on the phone, he said that he liked the idea of me not caring about the performance, but more about the reliability. And that is what I do. I am more worried about reliability 1,000,000% than I am performance, because when it's all said and done, if your bike ain't reliable, then what is the freaking point? A lot of us use it to get to work. You know, I still like performance. After I get done with the mandatory videos and the braking period and all that, I'm going to take this back off of Jokester and I'm going to make some power, because there is so much potential in this motor. It just needs to be unlocked. We'll still have it be reliable. That's the main thing. It will still be reliable. Remember that. It's going to be reliable. I promise you. Iron Sleeve, there's no way it can't be. Plus BT's Bullet Train brand is just an amazing motor to begin with. But this doesn't have a window in it. It just doesn't. This piston does not have a window, and it's a reed valve. Man, there's a lot of power here. It's funny. I think it's funny. All the engineering that went into this, because this is a really nice motor. It really is. They basically put a silver paint job on it, but even if you look past that, the finish is nice. The parts that are sand poured, the injection molded. I think that's injection molded. Oh, look at that. There's a small. There's a hole in it. So the mold was not perfect right there. I personally don't care. That's the opposite side. So they inject it from here. See those dots? That's where the injection comes out. And that's the farthest point. That's not going to hurt the performance. Once we get this apart, I want to see what kind of grease we got going on in here. I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed. Literally just a couple droplets of grease. It is what it is. They should come greased, but they really don't. That's a quality control thing. It's not a bike rate. That's where they get the motors from. That needs to be re-greased. Also, we have a good bit of rust. Not really sure why. Doesn't look like water in here. The head of the screw actually has rust all the way in it. I don't think I'm going to go into the clutch. I want to see how the clutch is from factory. I'm just curious. How is it from the factory? I'm not going to change anything really. It is frozen into it, to rusted to replace. There we go. These look very similar to the green pads. You all know I run the green pads. Same thickness. They look like a similar makeup, except they look brown. I am going to go out on a ledge. I don't know for a fact. These look exactly like the green pads that I recommend to run in any performance or daily motor. I'm not really sure what the composite is made of, but they're not clay pads. Here's the green pads I run. You see the thickness, same. The little brown spots, same. That's a come up, guys. I don't care who you are or what you say. That is a come up. Very happy with that. As a whole, the case itself looks really good. This is small little things. I mean, this is the things I'm noticing. There's nothing big that stands out. Everything I'm noticing is minute. Will this affect it? No. I think it actually does seal completely. I think it's just superficial. There's a hole through the fin. There's a hole through the fin. There's a blemish on the third fin. Is that gonna hurt it? Nah, just superficial. I mean, other than that, I haven't noticed anything else. There's nothing extravagant that stands out. Everything that I see is really just superficial. Is it gonna hurt it? No. Mind you, I have tried brand new 50cc's, brand new 80cc's, brand new PK100s, 100cc iron sleeve, which this is most compatible with. I've tried brand new CDH 110s. I've tried brand new Phantom 85s. I have yet to try an Avenger 85, but I've tried every motor out there outside of the Avenger pretty much. The Phantom was by far the biggest letdown, by far. A lot of fun, nothing but problems. This one, I don't think it's going to give me any problems. I'm just worried it's not going to be the performance that I want out of it. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel as always. Thanks for joining me here at Johnny's Motorized Bicycles. So what do we got going on today? Well, you see the bike in front of you is Jokester. This is my daily, my go-to ride. Ride it all the time, ride it everywhere when I gotta go somewhere. Sometimes I'll take out one of the other bikes just for fun, but if I know I gotta go somewhere and I wanna make sure I make it there and make it home, this is my ride. My steed, my chariot, my everything. It's just means so much to me, guys. It's just amazing. Okay, so if you guys are new to the channel because you're seeing this video and the title is probably going to be something along Bikeberry's new 100cc V2. The title is misleading in a way, not in the size or anything. There is so much more to this motor that I didn't know about until I got my hands on it. Some pluses, some minuses, some meh. I'll tell you as I do everything as I install it. I have a couple obligated videos that I have to do through a contract. This motor is given to me 100% free of charge to do a review on and put on a bike and tell everybody and post a video what I think. I'm gonna be honest with you. Every experience I've had with Bikeberry, not the Bikeberry products, but Bikeberry themselves has been enjoyable, simple, easy, whether it was for the channel or completely unrelated for own personal stuff where I'm just a nobody and they're not trying to get a review and, you know, good favor and everything. So it's always been pleasant dealing with the people there. So that's a plus right there. I think customer service is huge. Their business is built on people. The products, they're made overseas, shipped in, but the people are what contact the other people, the customers, the consumer talks to them. And those people are great. They talk, they're polite, they're helpful, all that. I talked to, I want to say it was Leah, I believe, through email a bunch. And I also talked to Thomas, the head of marketing, I believe. Both times, super pleasant, super easygoing, wonderful. So, as far as that goes, Bikeberry is a gem when it comes to dealing with people, and that I think is super important because that is the foundation of the business, dealing with the people. Second, why am I putting a motor on the Jokester? I recently signed up to do Uber Eats. I figured the way everything worked out, because I wanted something I could do with the bike to make money, and I've always wanted to do Uber Eats because it's a very flexible schedule, which is the main goal here. I'm not going to give you a bunch of content of me riding the bike doing Uber Eats. I mean, there will be some here and there. Break-in period 100%, but that goes back to why I think this is a great time. So I was about to start doing Uber Eats. My steed has been super trusty. You guys know I never work on the motor. I cracked it open a couple months ago. Crystal clean inside. It is a CDH 110 iron sleeve. It is one of, if not the worst motor ever made as far as power and reliability and all that stuff. Then why am I saying it is the most reliable motor I have? Well, because I built it. Okay, I took it apart, made it better, fixed the tolerances, did all that crap. It's amazing. I do have Bikeberry HP carb on here just because I just wanted it because I really love that auto choke. I think that is like such a nice thing. Now I'm not going to be putting that on. I'm going to be leaving the CDI on because I'm not going to be changing that out. It's the same basic CDI. The chain I'm going to keep on because it's a 415H. There's some things I'm going to leave. I'm going to put the stock exhaust on. I'm not putting this on. Besides, this is a BT motor, so it has a bespoke exhaust flange, which we'll get more into. Also, in upcoming videos, I will be getting other parts from Bikeberry. They said they're going to send me a couple exhausts and a head and I think a carburetor so I could test them out on the new motor. So what we're going to be doing here while that's playing, we're going to be disassembling this, basically taking the heart out of the bike. We're going to take the pipe off, the motor out, everything. We're going to disco it all. We're going to throw a new filter on. From the filter on, we're going to put new, reuse the chain, clean it up, re-grease it. Everything else is going to be going. The motor does work well. Now, yesterday I went to go do my very first Uber Eats, and what happened? Nothing. No, that's not true. It's a lie. I apologize. What happened is the motor broke. Not really the motor. So the motor was running fat. but that's because I just put new seals in it because it had a really bad surging issue because I knew the seals were worn out. I mean, you know, almost over 10, almost 15,000 miles. This, you know, it's a lot of miles for one of these little motors. Put new seals in. The problem is I tuned the carburetor, meaning I put a different jet in when it was leaking seals. So it was always bigger than necessary jet in the carburetor. So now it 4 strokes all the time and it runs very fat. It's very, very hard to deal with because it's just slow. It doesn't have the power it should. So what are we gonna do? Well, when we put this back on a bike, we're gonna fix all that up. But for now, we're just discoing it. We're gonna have disco music, little disco lights going, and this is all bye-bye. So let's get this off. Give me a couple seconds here and I'll get this off. Why is this cable here and why is this just hanging here? Well, this is the clutch. This is what happened to me yesterday. I pulled in for my second job on the Uber of the Eats, and as soon as I pulled the clutch in, the little end broke. So the end broke, it frayed, it broke, and I had to ride home by just pulling this wire to do the clutch so I could get home. It was a nightmare because I literally rode about 10 miles away from home and it broke literally as I pulled into the parking lot. So that really stinks. So we're gonna use the cable that came with the kit. We're gonna use anything that I need to replace, we're using from the kit. As you can see in the unboxing, this kit comes with everything. It's a different box than normal. It's an elongated box, as you see. Comes with everything, just like any normal kit should and would. Some of the parts that it comes with are a little bit nicer, I'm not gonna lie. They're like just the rubber, the way it was punched out for the rag joint, the pineapple joint, whatever you want to call it. It's much nicer, just the cuts, it's less frayed. There's little things that if you never did one of these before, you might not notice, but doing many of these motor kits on bikes, I notice all those little things. And it is a very nice kit. To boot, the thing that I think is probably one of the nicest things, I don't have this tight yet, just on, is the finish of this motor. Now, there is 2 stickers here, one saying void. Well, it says void if you pull the sticker off. It's basically saying for EPA compliant and all that. I just didn't want that sticker, it looks ugly. And another one saying you take all responsibility for being an idiot and using one of these when you're not supposed to. I also took that off because I am an idiot, as you know and are watching now. So everything is on. What I have planned for this motor in the long run, because they contacted me and said, you're more about reliability than speed. And I said 100%. So I am going to take this motor fully apart and build it because there is crazy potential in this motor. There's no window in the piston. It is a reed valve from factory. That's awesome. This will easily
decimate all after you put about 15 grand in it or more if we have to. Overnight parts
from Nightmare compete with the YD100 Dio reed I just had on a channel. This is also a steel sleeve. Most people don't know that. They don't advertise that like up in their main thing. This is a steel sleeve motor which was put in perfectly. Like the way it is in, so symmetrical to the rest of the mold. It's phenomenal. It's a very pretty finish. Now, it comes with 2 base gaskets. I put 2 base gaskets. I put everything as if one of you guys had it to put it on your bike. I want to show you what you're gonna get from a stock motor. The amount I'm gonna run this, the RPMs I'm gonna constantly hold with it, and the amount of weight it's got to pull, being this super heavy bike, this super heavy human, and the trailer, which is not even the final trailer. I'm gonna be pulling the big trailer all the time with the Uber Eats. I'm making a custom trailer to keep hot and cold food good, also so I could do shopping at Walmart and deliver it with the big trailer. So it's gonna be pulling a lot of weight. How it's gonna do stock form, I really don't know. I think it's gonna do very well because it's a very nice motor. The BT product, I think it stands for Bullet Train, even though the Bullet Train is the electric one in most cases, but the BT product is a very good motor. I've had one before, got it used. It was just a really well-built motor. Everything is just solid. They're just well-built. It was smooth, all that jazz. This is a fully stock motor. This is how you get it from the factory. You got to assemble it, you got to put it together, which is fine because it's better. It's good to go in and clean everything out. This had nothing in there that I really noticed. There was a small piece in the transfer. I got that out. Some, casting flash. Nothing crazy, but the casting flash, if you didn't get that out, that could have been a big problem. So, nonetheless, comes with a reed. The reed itself is inside the cylinder. Super nice. Only thing that is a downside from that is the heat transfer. It absorbs way more heat. It doesn't allow as cold of a charge to go in there. A really big chunky head as is. It has a very large dome, cylinder head dome. Not a big fan of. It doesn't have a proper squish band. Not a big fan of. I think we can remedy both those things in the next month or 2. You'll see, you'll like it. Anything I'm gonna do to this motor, you'll be able to do at home when you buy one. And from just the looks and touching it, I can already tell this is gonna be a good motor. Just the quality, how it's going to operate, power, I don't know yet, but the quality is already there. I mean, this is light years above any YD100, the Phantom 85. Now, I'm not talking power, I'm talking quality control. Blows every motor I have tested and used out of the water, bar none. Good quality, pretty finish, all that jazz. So let's get that one off, let's get this one in, and let's see how it does. I got a couple gallons of conventional oil so that we can break it in exactly proper. We are gonna change out the cable for the clutch, obviously, and that's about it. So bear with me as we get going. Okay guys, so the motor is fully installed. The new chunk of gas line and a new filter is on. Everything is everything. The carburetor's tight and on. What is this wire? Oh, that's just gotta be tucked. Carburetor's snug, exhaust is snug. New cable for the clutch is on because that's what was the problem yesterday. Also, as per you're supposed to, because this is a contractual agreement to do all this stuff, I want to make sure I do this 100% by the book, so it's just like you guys would be doing at home. I made like a 30-to-1 oil fuel mixture of conventional oil. So no synthetic, because normally I run synthetic only because I only have one jug. So we're gonna break it in with just some regular old conventional oil like they say. So let's get the harness on and let's get out on its first ride. I am really stoked about this.